Hey guys, Dr. Justin Marchegiani here. Today's video is going to be on the top 5 reasons your liver is not working well. We're going to dive into what they are, simple things that you have control, maybe you don't have control. We'll dive in. Before we do, please smash the like button. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notifications of great content coming like this, and put your comments down below. I will be responding to them, so make it a good one. All right, guys, so first thing is your liver has many different roles in the body. Obviously, people think of the liver as like a big sponge or a big filter for toxins. There is definitely a lot of truth to that. Your liver, actually, one of the most important things it does is actually blood sugar regulation. One of the biggest things that can put stress on the liver is blood sugar dysregulation. Essentially, eating too much carbohydrate, your body can actually use the liver as a storage site of carbohydrate. It'll store fructose and glucose there, and once it's maxed out, and once you've maxed out a lot of the storage sites for your muscles, guess what? You start to develop a non-alcoholic fatty liver. That liver starts turning fatty, and as that liver helps maintain blood sugar stability within the body via gluconeogenesis, that's new forming of glucose. As soon as that liver becomes more fatty due to excess fructose not being able to be stored there, muscle supply reservoir of glucose and fructose is totally full, then we start to have insulin resistance because that liver is now kind of more on the fatty side because it's converting a lot of that glucose and fructose to palmitic acid and trying to store it there. And that creates a systemic effect of insulin resistance. This is key. And now some of the markers that you can see on that, we'll see elevated ALT, elevated AST as well. These are liver enzyme markers. When we start to go above 30, it's a good sign that we have potential fatty liver. Again, if you go for a metabolic panel, which is where you'll find the ALT, AST test, if you did some hard exercise or hard lifting, there could be just some muscle breakdown that will mimic that elevated tissue. So you want to make sure you're controlling for that variable. All right, let me just kind of dive in more specifically for you guys. Okay, so first thing, I mentioned blood sugar regulation. Right? Glucose storage is a key site for the liver. Your body will store about 60 grams of glucose in the liver. It can store fructose there too. Fructose is a lot more inflammatory and damaging than glucose is. I mean, fructose, if you look at it, usually when you're getting like high fructose corn syrup, it's 55 fructose percent, 45 glucose. Or if you're getting processed food, table sugar, right? Sucrose is table sugar. It's going to be half glucose, half fructose. And so, yeah, half of it will go to the liver. You only have about 60 grams or so, but you upregulate a lot of, let's just say a lot of JNKY enzymes, junk enzymes that are going to be more inflammatory, and you can impact this inflammatory cascade in the liver. Not to mention the CYP1 enzyme, the carnitine CPT enzyme, carnitine palmitotransferase enzyme, which is important for shuttling fatty acid into the mitochondria. Guess what? It inhibits that enzyme, so now you have an inability to burn fat optimally, hence this fatty liver and the conversion of glucose and carbohydrate, mainly fructose, into fat. And so we can have this NASH, non-alcoholic steatotic hepatitis. It's like saying, hey, you got an inflamed liver, but it's not from, hepatitis, which is a viral condition. And then you have not from alcohol. So it's just kind of ruling out the more common ones. So big ones going to be your lifestyle. And again, we may see it with elevations in triglycerides too. Triglycerides very high. Usually you're going to start to see triglyceride to HDL ratio greater than 2. So you start to see it like your trigs are like at 150 and your HDL's at 40. Oh, well, that's almost a 4-to-1 ratio. That's a sign that you're moving in the wrong direction. And we may also see that with elevations in fasting insulin. So we see insulin elevated. That's another sign that we have problems. So blood sugar regulation. Your liver is an important site for glucose stabilization. You'll see it when you start to go low carb. Your body will use glucagon and gluconeogenesis to kind of control decent blood sugar flow. The drug metformin, they'll actually use that drug to decrease gluconeogenesis. And again, that's with people that are already kind of over-carbed up. It also works on insulin resistance. Again, you can do that with your diet and with natural nutrients as well, and restricting a lot of the food that gets converted into storage sites at the liver. You can knock down the foods that are going to be stimulating more of the insulin and driving that insulin resistance. Because once that liver is going to be stuffed full of carbohydrate, fructose, glucose, insulin resistance becomes a systemic part because that glucose or that blood sugar is systemically managed by the liver. And if we have a liver that is insulin resistant, your body is going to have a hard time controlling blood sugar more. Okay, and so insulin and glucagon play a role with that. Now, toxin exposure. Obviously, we know the liver plays a big role with toxins. We know, for instance, we'll talk about alcohol. We know that upregulates GGT enzyme, ALT, AST. These are enzymes in the liver that when they go high, it's a sign the liver and that tissue is breaking down, right? We're having this catabolic breakdown, recreational drugs. So obviously this could be any, drug that, you're going to see, whether it's fentanyl, whether it's just trying to have a hard time thinking about recreational drugs, heroin, any of your opiates. You could put opiates in that category, whether it's fentanyl or heroin. Pharmaceutical drugs are a big one. Even things like Tylenol. You can have someone go into liver failure. Your kid could go into liver failure by taking too much Tylenol. And guess what? They'll actually reverse that with an NAC IV drip. So NACs, or I should say Tylenol is a big one, right? A lot of these over-the-counter drugs can be stressful depending on what pathway they work on, for instance. Statins can be one that could be an impact as well. What else can be an impact pharmaceutical-wise? So your ibuprofen could definitely be a stressor as well. A lot of, you're going to see any of your opiates, any of your pain medications, those can all impact significantly. Glyphosate, a lot of your pesticides, a lot of your organochlorines, your plastics, your hormones, your phthalates, your BPAs, your BPSs, xenoestrogens, whether it's in plastics, whether it's in soy, whether it's in animal protein. These are all going to be big things out of the gate. So toxins are going to be a big stressor. Your liver will be a filter for that. So you consume these things, they come into your body, maybe food or water. They're going to go through your digestive tract. They'll go through the hepatic portal vein. That's where kind of that filter is. You have these Kupffer cells in the liver that are going to work as a filter or a sponge. And then a lot of these things will make its way to the gallbladder, and they'll also be dumped into the gastrointestinal tract, and they'll be pushed out in the stool. And so we got to have good, healthy motility and good digestion to make sure we're eliminating these things. Hydration, very important. The solution to pollution is dilution. And so whatever toxic thing you have in your body, the better quality water, clean, healthy water is going to be amazing with good electrolytes in there. It's going to dilute the, let's just say, the capacity for these toxins to be stressful, to be oxidative, to create free radical damage in the body. So we're going to have a major impact on that. Plus, our cells need good, healthy electrolytes to function optimally. Digestion's a big thing, right? Guess what? The master antioxidant that is there to help your body deal with toxicity, right? N-acetylation, glucuronidation, glutathione conjugation. Glutathione is a master antioxidant, and it's going to be necessary to help deal with these oxidative stressors. And guess what? It's made from cysteine, it's made from glutamine, it's made from glycine, and it's made from protein. So if we have poor digestion and we're not breaking down these amino acids, or if we're under a lot of stress and maybe we're vegan or vegetarian and we're not getting good, healthy, concentrated levels. Again, you could do it if you're a vegan vegetarian, if you're doing a lot of protein powders, but it's still hard. And a lot of times you're still not getting complete amino acids, and a lot of times you're not getting enough of that cysteine, which is the rate limiting one when it comes to making glutathione. You need glutathione is made from tripeptide. Glutamine, usually muscle meat, also in a lot of gut formulas. Glycine, big in collagen and bone marrow and bone broth. And the last one is going to be cysteine. Cysteine's the big rate limiting one there. And so if we have poor digestion, low hydrochloric acid, if we have bacterial imbalances in the gut, we're not absorbing things, that could be a big issue. Now, gut toxins is a big one. I kind of talked about SIBO and dysbiosis. If we have imbalances in that gut bacteria, there could be toxins produced from dysbiotic bacteria, otherwise known as endotoxin or lipopolysaccharides. These are actually going to be stressors on the liver. So if we have bad gut balance, we have a lot more dysbiotic bacteria, Citrobacter, Klebsiella, Pseudomonas, Morganella, etc. Put H. pylori in there. And we have low levels of beneficials, Acidophilus, Bifidobacter longum, your Lactobacillus casei, Infantis, plantarum, right? Your different families of Bifidobacter and Lactobacillus, that's going to be a problem. And obviously, we have prebiotic fibers that help grow a lot of those things. And you could put fungus or candida in that camp too, because candida also produces acetaldehyde, which would also be a gut toxin. Acetaldehyde is a similar metabolite that you get from alcohol as well. Makes you feel drunk. It's a stressor on the liver. So that's also a big deal. That makes sense, guys, out of the gate. So blood sugar regulation is important. Insulin and glucagon play a big role, but glucagon and the liver play a really important role. Your liver will hold a little bit of glycogen. It'll work on that regulation. But when we impact it and we overly stuff and convert carbohydrates to fatty acids and we increase insulin resistance, we're going to develop this non-alcoholic liver inflammation. And then obviously toxin exposure, alcohol, recreational drugs, think heroin, think your opiates, think your cocaine, think your stimulants. Of course, everything on the market, recreational, could be laced with something, especially fentanyl these days. Pesticides from your food, glyphosate, think Roundup. Your plastics, think xenoestrogens for sure. Hydration, really important role. The solution to pollution is dilution. Again, digestion, the key antioxidants. We can throw B vitamins in there too to help with detoxification. come from good, healthy amino acids and require good hydrochloric acid and good digestion. And gut toxins play a big role: endotoxin, lipopolysaccharide, and candida, and the different fungal mycotoxins that come from that. And you could throw mold into that camp as well. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, let me know. Put your comments down below. If you need functional medicine support, we see patients worldwide. If you need that support, there'll be a link down below where you can reach out to our staff and team. We're happy to work with patients worldwide and really dive in and use a lot of the principles and the functional medicine principles we talk about in these videos with you interacting as a patient. All right, guys, if you enjoyed, thumbs up, bell for notifications, comments below. Have a good night, guys. Bye.